We still have with us Suleiman Adamu Sanid, is a member of parliament for Hafwa North, but also a vice chairman, local government and rural development committee of parliament, a member of the committee as well, and the ranking is Neil Lante van der Poy, also here, member of parliament for the Dodio. But we also do know the National Association of Law Students, they've declared today a Red Monday following the mass failure of graduates who wrote the recent entrance examinations to the Ghana School of Law. And we all do know the result released in September showed only about 128 out of 1,820 passed examinations. Well, they got furious, so they are demonstrating. Komla Dome is there right now, and Komla is ready to give us the latest update. Komla, are they getting the numbers, or they are still just making the point as they said they would?
Hello, Roland.
What's the situation there?
So we are currently just one block away from the Ghana School of Law premises, where tens of law students are gathering in their numbers to begin a march to the Jubilee House, we are told. And this march, as we know, is in relation to all that's been happening in the legal examination field. We know that just 128 of those who sat the entrance examination out of the 1,280 or so students passed to get into the Ghana School of Law. And so now these law students here are sort of sending a signal by this march to the Jubilee House to get legal education reform in the country. So they are clad in red, as you can see in your picture, with lots of placards. I see placards like the door of legal education are closed to the poor, 3K for remarking. I see one, I did not fail that exam and I can prove it. Give us our remarking now. And then that one also, I mean, so many placards here, and these are law students who say legal education must be reformed. One of the things they are calling for is for the review of the remarking process. We know that 3,000 CDs for a paper, if you want remarking, they say that figure must be reviewed to 500 CDs. And they also are protesting what they say are stringent, structures. For instance, if you fail 3 of the papers during the exam, you are going to write all 10 subjects all over again. And so they say that is unfair. They are also contesting the marking of the exams in this field. Let me speak to one of the organizers of this particular march, Prince. He joins me here. Thank you very much, Prince. So we know some of your concerns already. You are sort of protesting the exorbitant fees for remarking, for example, the stringent marking, so that when you fail 3 papers, you're supposed to resit all 10 subjects again, etc. But at the end of the day, what would we have achieved from this particular march?
Could you kindly repeat the question again?
What would you have achieved as a group from this march, particularly at the end of the day today?
It almost appears as though the people at the top are either not aware or they don't know what's going on. We don't know what the inertia at the top is, but we want them to know by virtue of the numbers that show up today that, look, this is something that has been long overdue. We have gone through all the processes. We have done the diplomatic approach. We have written petitions. We have even spoken to the president, and still nothing is happening. And so when they come here and they see the numbers that amass over here, perhaps that's going to shock them into doing something, because we know that in this country, the only language that they understand is politics. So let's show them our numbers. Next year's election year, are you going to act or not? Let's see how it goes.
Okay, now another thing I understand you're calling for is a remarking of the papers for those of you who wrote the entrance examination.
Yes.
You are the conviction that there was something wrong with the marking.
Listen. The CFA is considered one of the most difficult exams in the world. It doesn't have a 93% failure rate. The entry into the UK's BPTC or exit out of it is also very difficult. It doesn't have a 93% failure rate. The California Bar exam, which is considered the most difficult exam in the US, does not have a 93% failure rate. If you go to some of the poorest public schools in this country, when they write their WAEC exams, they don't have a 93% failure rate. It is impossible. I can tell you that right now. It is statistically impossible for 93% of law students to have failed that exam. It's not possible. So if they say we have failed, fine. We have failed. Publish the marking scheme. Publish the markings. Release the scripts. Let's go for our remarking. If we have failed, you have nothing to be afraid of. It's as simple as that. If you know that we have truly failed, you should have no problem releasing the marking script and allowing us to go for a remark. If you say 1 + 1 is equal to 2, I know I wrote 2. The marking scheme says 2. If I go for remarking, it should reflect as I wrote 2. If it does not reflect as I wrote 2, I can go and sleep at home. Try again whenever time you want me to try again. So in the short term, we want them to know that, listen, publish the marking scheme. Let us go for our remarking. Let everything be transparent. After all, we say we didn't fail, you said we failed. So let's find the middle ground.
I'll come back to you shortly, but as you can see, some of the placards they are wording. So this one says, Mr. President, if mass production equals low quality, tell us why you made SHS free. And that one says, enough is enough. We have another one which says, I did not fail that exam and I can prove it. Give us our remarking now. And that one says, we want legal education, not sex education. Open legal education now. And then a final one says, we march for our right to professional legal training. Give us reforms now. Let me take a final. This one says, the National Association of Law Students, Section 1(5) of the Legal Profession Act, the General Legal Counsel, that is, shall, in the performance of their functions, comply with any general direction given to them by the Attorney General, that is. Mr. President acts now. Hashtag reform legal education now. So those are some of the placards they are wielding here. But we also had the Chief Justice just last week. She maintained that as far as she is concerned, the General Legal Counsel is still in charge of these things. And then the 50% pass mark is what is pertaining till now.
We don't have a pass. We don't have a problem with what the pass mark is. Like I said, it appears that there is a fundamental misunderstanding of what is going on. We are saying that the entire system is broken. The exam does not function as a merit assessment system. It is failing. If the exam was working, you would find that only the cream of the crop would enter the Ghana School of Law. But even at the Ghana School of Law, they are recording high rates of failures. So it is telling, if you go to all the faculties, none of the valedictorians made it. Oh, okay, I hear the valedictorian from KNUST made it. But apart from that valedictorian, no other made it. We have GIMPA, 2 students making record-breaking GPAs. None of them make it. In University of Ghana, Legon, 5 students making first class. Only 1 person making it. So you see that if the argument is that, I'm not saying that this is what it is, but if the argument is that the exam is functioning as a merit assessment system, then the exam is failing. We can all see that the exam is failing. Restructure the exam, give us the reforms. We are willing to dialogue, but the position from the top has been that they are not going to listen to us. We have done everything. Look, we have exhausted all possible measures, and this is the last straw. Enough is enough, as you can see up there.
So you heard there, Prince. Thank you very much. We are going to be following this protest. Just tell us the routes. Where are we going to be marching through, etc.?
So from here, we are going to use the high street and then come back to Liberation Road and straight to the Flagstaff House.
All right, so you just heard one of the organizers of this protest. They are going to be marching through the principal street to the Flagstaff, the Jubilee House, that is, and they say they're going to present a petition to the president about this. So they are filing in their numbers, tens of them. A short time ago, I saw a heavy police deployment around the Ghana School of Law area. More than 10 police officials I counted, and about 3 or 4 vehicles also, supposed to sort of ensure that this process is incident-free. The members are resolute in their ambition to ensure legal education reform, and that is all they tell me here, and that is what they are here to do, and that is all that matters today. So that is what's happening here, Mama V and Roland. In a short time, they will begin the march proper, and then as the march begins, we will follow them, and then we will go through the processes and the ropes with them. We are seeing individuals from all walks of life. I've seen some parents, I've seen some students, I've even seen some of the individuals who passed the exam, some of the 128 of the students who passed the exams also here to solidarize with the group and ensure that this agenda, which is the hashtag reform legal education, is seen to its logical conclusion. So that's been the situation here.
Well, Komladum, that was great and good interaction there. And where they're gathered currently is the Independence Avenue School. It is just adjacent the campus of. More updates, Komladum will do that for us. But we also do know last Friday, the Chief Justice revealed that a larger campus would be built, but also assured quality as a result would not be compromised.
Chief Justice Sophia Kufu says plans are in place to build a larger campus.
New and larger campus away from the hustle and bustle of central Accra, the land for which was acquired some years ago. The commencement of execution of this project is expected to be captured in the 2020 budget, which is being prepared now.
She, however, says quality will not be compromised.
So the GLC continues in its quest to assure the people of this great republic. We want to assure them the excellence in professional legal education and production of quality lawyers that they so well and dearly deserve. The position of the General Legal Council remains that admission to the Ghana School of Law for professional legal education requires that successful candidates obtain a minimum mark of 50% in an entrance exam administered by the Independent Examination Committee. By this competitive and strict standard, the Ghana School of Law has over the years increased its intake and maintains 2 other campuses, in addition to the main campus in central Accra, to accommodate the growing interest in legal education. But however much available space is increased, the GLC will never relent on its commitment to assurance of production of quality lawyers through observation of the highest standards. And I'm sure that after what you have been through, you feel that you are part of a special group, not because of exclusiveness, but because you are here by merit.
Wow, still, the campus would have to be extended by merit. Anyway, so we also have to talk about how Parliament and the executive could also could influence this. Can they in any way?
At the last session, this issue came up. Previous Parliament, the 6th Parliament of the 7th Republic, of the 4th Republic, you know, critically look at this issue. In fact, it did not get the vote that we needed during the debate, because some people have their interests. And then this particular Parliament, the 7th Parliament, it also came up again. We've discussed it. And I think that it's all the issue of the legislation. And I think at any point in time, government decides that it has had enough reason to bring a legislation to Parliament. I think we members of Parliament will be too keen, very, very happy to help in fashioning out a reform of the law in order to make it more conducive for more Ghanaians. But because what is happening today is a bit disheartening. It's not good. It's not good. You see, my problem has to do with the sort of sense that people are being exploited. Because I say that if you know you don't have the facility to take so many people, why do you accredit so many faculties? To produce people, they go through the 3 years of training, and then they fail to do the professional training. The main training has been done. Chief Justice says
it's not automatic.
It's not a matter of it being automatic. It's a matter of morals, looking at the issue as it stands. Let's say that you have a base figure. Let's say every year we are taking 500 people. So when you know you're taking 5 people, you say, okay, then every school, we have this. Bring your best students, this number of your best students to come and write. You must have a formula. But if you make it so open.
At the faculty level, if it meets the grade point.
Yes.
Then you move. Like it used to be back in the day.
In the days.
You know, it should be something like that.
Can something be done?
Yeah, something can
this
be.
advocacy, can it also have some hold in the executive
I think
and
so.
the legislature?
I think so. What they are doing today is drumming home or pushing home their concerns. And I'm sure the executive will be monitoring. MPs will also be monitoring to see exactly what are the issues.
A lot of MPs have interest.
A lot of MPs have interest. That is why anytime you bring it to the House, it raises a lot of passion. So I think that we need to really look at what is happening. My concern is that yes, you've created so many faculties. People are pushing in there, and then they get there, and then the entry has become so narrow.
Small. Yeah.
So narrow. And looking at the figures, people are investing their time, they are investing their money. People who are working, and then they come through, and then look at the number of people who are going through. Very disheartening. So I think that those who are managing these things should really, really look at it again.
Roland, I was listening to your news this morning. I heard of a blind guy who got first class at the first degree level, LLB, got first class.
Are you saying because he got first class, he should go through?
No, I'm saying got first class. No, but you see, Roland, if somebody got first class at LLB,
you have to pass the entrance.
Please,
to the Ghana
please. And don't even look at the person being a blind person and got first class.
Granted, but I'm saying that. Are you saying that?
Then what happened to inclusivity?
Are you saying that everybody who gets a first class and has to write an
entrance
examination for entry into any institution?
The Chief Justice should be looking at the SDGs and talk about inclusivity.
All right.
And making sure that minorities.
Yes.
Well, Komla Adum is right there and will bring us the latest updates before we close.